Hey, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about the top 3 soft skills that you need to be a great data analyst, as well as how you can develop them. The first critical skill is understanding your stakeholders and where they fit within the business. If you understand your stakeholders and where they fit, you'll be a lot more efficient. You'll be able to deliver reports that speak to them the first time and have a lot less back and forth. You'll be able to better anticipate what they're looking for so that you can make changes before they ask for them. And you'll be able to better communicate the nuances and things that matter to your stakeholders and ignore the ones that don't. You can practice this by really learning how the business makes money. Whatever business you're in, learn how the cash flows through the business. That's really what drives everything. And learn the role that your stakeholders play and how they influence that. If you can sit down with your stakeholders and have them talk you through what they do day to day, what their common problems are, how they deal with them now, and how they'd like to be able to deal with them, that will also help teach you a lot about what they do and how they do it. You can ask them where they get their data, what they think the critical data points are, what they look at, what their pain points are, and what frustrates them about how they're working today, because that's going to give you a picture of what you might be able to solve for them in the future. The second critical skill is how to talk about data to non-data people. Let's face it, most of the people that you interact with in any organization are not data people. They're just normal people going about their everyday lives, and they don't care about the intricacies of a model or the intricacies of a data warehouse. If you can learn how to talk to these folks without using jargon, without confusing them, or without going into too much detail, then you'll communicate your message a lot better and a lot more effectively, and you'll be able to get what you need from them a lot more quickly. People trust and they will come to you when they know that you can explain to them in plain English exactly what is happening and why it is happening. And these relationships are going to help you stay ahead of trends in the business, and you're going to see things coming that other people don't because you have this network of contacts that you've developed by being the person they can trust to talk to them about data without making them feel stupid. You can learn to talk to non-data people better by identifying where you're using jargon within the business and figuring out what the plain English way of saying that is. You can also build analogies for a lot of the complexities that you run into, including understanding what the data impacts in the real world, so you can talk about the real world impact, not just what the data is saying. If you write out simplified ways to talk about your data infrastructure and how you pull things through, then that can really help you when that comes up in a conversation and you need to explain to someone who maybe doesn't understand all these different parts and all these different moving pieces that most companies have in their data infrastructure. And also find opportunities to talk about this in a more informal setting so you can get feedback on how you're doing. Do people understand what you're talking about? Do they think that you know what you're talking about? Are they confused by the jargon that you use? If you can sit down and talk to people one-on-one, that sort of feedback will really help you improve how you talk to people. And if you can talk to people better with a simpler message, you will be a more effective data analyst. The third critical skill is tailoring your communication to your audience. Sometimes you'll be talking to a really data literate audience and you'll want to include all the technical details so that they understand everything that happened in the background to build the model that you built or come across the insight that you came across. More often than not, though, you're going to be talking to business people who don't understand all of the complexities that go into working with data. Some of them might, but most of them won't. And if you include too much technical detail, they're going to get confused, they're going to zone out, and they're not going to listen to what you're saying. It's really, really important because audiences will take the right action as long as you are telling them in language that they understand and in a way that they understand. So how can you learn how to do this? Well, take the time before any presentation or any communication to think through the audience and what you think they need to get from it. Focus on what they want and what they need, not just what you want to tell them. And when in doubt, take out any details that you think might confuse them. You can always include the details in an appendix so you can go to them if somebody has a question or somebody wants to go into more detail, but take them out of the main presentation. Don't derail the conversation by confusing people. Keep it simple, keep it straightforward, and keep it focused on what they need. We talked about the top 3 soft skills that you need to be a great data analyst. The first one is understanding the business and understanding your stakeholders. The second one is understanding how to talk to non-data people about data. And the third one is being able to tailor your message to your audience so that they can always make sense of what you're saying. These skills are a lot harder to develop than the hard skills like programming and things like that because it really depends on who you're talking to, why you're talking to them, and what you're talking about. So it's a lot more situational and a lot less something you can learn by going down a checklist. But these soft skills are the ones that I have seen get great data analysts promoted and make them into really respected business partners. Hey, if you found this video helpful, then please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We talk about Tableau, we talk about Power BI, we talk about how to communicate with data better, and I look forward to seeing you next time.